Hello and welcome to Cboe Volatility 411. My name is Dan Deming and I'm with KCAM Financial. Well, we're seeing the SPX continuing to hold 3,100. Pretty quiet week, all things considered, down slightly on the week, but nothing too pronounced. And we did see an interesting dynamic in the VIX this week where we saw the VIX actually trade at the highest of the month. 1417 was the high on Wednesday when we saw the SPX briefly below 3,100 intraday. VIX right around 1275 right now, so again at the low end of the range. And when you look at some of the activity here, I want to point out number one, realized volatility. It's at a year low. You look at 30-day realized volatility, 6.5. 10-day realized volatility below 5. Those are the lowest readings in the past year, so it's why part of the reason I think why we're seeing the VIX under some pressure here as we see realized volatility continuing to be ratcheted down. We're also looking at a roll market here of $1.70 from Dec to Jan, now that Dec is the front month future, and we're looking at $2.20 of premium in that front month future relative to the cash. So we're seeing significant premium being built into the future as we roll into December. Looking at VVIX, measure implied volatility in the VIX options, 95, and that's holding up. It actually held above 90 all week. So we are seeing some consistent demand for VIX options here, where we're seeing the VIX at these low levels. And you look at the activity today, I want to point out a couple of the big trades. In December, we saw a put tree trade. So we saw the 14, 13, 12.5 put tree trade. They bought one and sold two. And we also saw a put spread trade in January, and that was the 14, 12.5 put spread in January. 22,000 times on each one of those lines. So a pretty big trade here on Friday on the put side. Looking at next week, holiday shortened week. It'll be interesting to see though, because we do have some news items coming out in the first 3 days, highlighted by consumer confidence. And then we've got a slew of economic data on Wednesday before the holiday. So it'll be interesting to see how the market handles that going into the extended, truncated end of the week. Also, we're going to have some probably more news about the trade situation next week that will keep the market somewhat on its toes. But to this point, we're not seeing too much of a reaction there, and we're seeing the SPX holding above 3,100, VIX below 13.